Hello. I wanted to talk to you today about the animal trios. When you'll notice when you come into the dream arc that if you come across a creature, then it will have two animal partners, two dream arc partners in other realms. So we have these three realms, but then all the creatures are connected, mysteriously threaded together in the whole dream arc pantheon. And there's great mystery in here, and it's also a very healing thing, when you begin to work with it, because what you realize is when you're drawn to a specific creature, you might be drawn to a stag, And when you're drawn to that stag, what you don't realize is it has these secret partners connected in other realms. So those are the ones you may not have been obviously drawn to, but they also hold secrets for you. So it's always worth exploring the partners, the dream arc partners, and the connection between the threads of the three of them. And three is a magical, completely magical principle that is embedded so deeply in all sacred teachings, particularly shamanic mystical teachings, which is based on the three realms as the dream arc is. So, it's also rooted in my other teaching on the gene keys. So every one of these creatures relates to one of the 64 gene keys. You see there are 64 at each level. And in gene keys, we call them shadows, gifts, and siddhis. Siddhi is a Sanskrit word, it means divine gift. And so we call those in the dream arc fear keys, the underworld, life keys, the mammal realm, and then vision keys, the bird realm, the birds. And they're all interconnected. You could also look at them as the unconscious, the conscious, and the conscious, the superconscious. The unconscious, the conscious, and the superconscious. So the unconscious would be the shadow world, the fear keys. The conscious would be the life keys of the mammal world. And then the vision keys are the superconscious of the birds. That's what they represent. And none of them are better than any other. They're just that the dream arc, moving through the dream arc is about finding the storyline between the three. Because you might think, I want to be in the superconscious. That sounds really good and really, I want to get those visions. I don't really want to spend too much time in the fear keys. Probably if you're doing the dream arc, you're a bold, brave person anyway. And so you're up for some fear, shadow tracking. But the point is that these are all embedded within each other. So the fear key opens into the life key, and the life key becomes the vision key. So it's a bit like, the seed and the flower and the fruit, that they all contain each other, and are within each other. So you can't attain a high vision without going deep into the fear and releasing the fears that maybe underpin that vision, or where that vision, so if you get the vision, you can guarantee it will take you down into the shadow and you'll have to deal with the fear keys, and the life keys are the mammals that empower us, in that journey of these three layers. So really, when you're playing with this, dream arc, and particularly in the healers, while you're in the healers, really dig into some of these. Use this time for your own healing. And like I use the example of the stag, if you look at the stag and you see that the stag, its life key is self-empowered authority, right? But underneath that, the fear under that is the seahorse. It's represented by the seahorse. And if you learn about the seahorse, you realize it's all about the spine. The wiggling of the spine. It's like, that's what the seahorse is. It's a very early version of our spine. And it's the fear of letting go. So you start to thread that journey in your life. You realize to get to self-empowered authority, you have to pass through the fear of letting go. So the seahorse and the stag, suddenly their mythologies are interestingly connected. And if you dive deep into these myths and the mythologies, you'll find links between them, mysterious links. And then you have at the other end, the vision key, the superconscious level, which is a vision of noble valor. This is the kingfisher. This is the bird. And so that's in a way what happens. That's the kind of result, the vision that emerges from the fear of letting go when we manage to let go of control of things that we need to let go of control of in our relationships, in our lives. And then we come into self-empowered authority as the stag, and then we grow our antlers and we connect to the cosmos. And then finally, we come to the vision of noble valor, the kingfisher. And the kingfisher, the myths of the kingfisher are all about the wounded fisher king. The wonderful myths and legends surrounding the kingfisher that dives down into the waters to find the fish, but has to earn its royalty and its nobility, its valor. And so you'll get to see that the journey through one animal, one creature, is also a journey through 3 mythologies. And it's an amazing thing for you to do. Can you find the links, the stories between them? Leadership, control, power, royalty. Those links are all completely connected in those creatures I just spoke about. So really look at that and see, in every set of these creatures, these animal trios, you find, all kinds of secrets waiting for you to just find them and discover them, unlock them. So happy contemplation and happy deep inner shamanic journeying as you explore your animal trios, and may you be well and filled with the energy, the healing energy of these beautiful creatures and what they truly represent as you journey through the healers. Thank you.